If you're watching this video, it's very likely that you've spent countless hours researching how exactly to become a digital nomad. And most of the people on our channel have spent a lot of time looking at videos that just have a ton of disjointed information. There's a lot of really bad advice out there, like go get paid $10 an hour on this random online website or fill out surveys for 25 bucks or whatever. And that's how you can live in the Philippines. There's a lot of bad advice out there. And I think one of the other things about being a digital nomad that most other YouTubers miss is how to actually make money online and sustain yourself when you're living in another country. And we don't just mean go and film a bunch of YouTube videos just like those YouTubers are telling you to do and make $2 or $3 per video from ads. That's not the way to do it sustainably. So in this video, we're going to be discussing how to actually become a digital nomad. This is going to be your A to Z guide on exactly what you need to do, everything from moving to another country to actually figuring out all of the behind the scenes, making income so that you can sustain yourself when you finally do find that place you want to be and move there.
Welcome to Entrepreneur Expat. On this channel, we talk about living overseas, having a location-independent business, making money online, and really just having a really good time in life. So if that is something that you are interested in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video we have coming out on this channel. We got at least 3 coming out every single week right now to help you with your dream of moving overseas. And a big part of what we're going to be talking about in this video is how to actually make money and do it in a sustainable way. We have a collective 30 plus years of experience in online businesses. We've helped hundreds of people start, grow, and scale online businesses in those 15 years. Some of our clients, you've helped clients generate multi 6-7 figures on launches. So what we did is we put together a free guide for you. It's called our Make Money From Anywhere guide, and it's going to show you the 5 skills that you can use to make money from anywhere in the world and how to get started. The only thing you need to do to access that is click on the link below, input your email, and you will get it right away.
So for those of you guys that don't know us, I'm Justin and this is Amanda. And again, this is Entrepreneur Expat. We talk about everything to do with moving and living overseas. So getting into the digital nomad question, what exactly is being a digital nomad? Well, being a digital nomad is at its core, being able to work and live in multiple places, in many cases outside of the country that you came from, the country that you were born in. For example, you might want to go and live and work in Europe for 3 months, or perhaps come to Colombia for a few years, or be in Mexico like we are. We're actually currently based in Guadalajara, Mexico. I've been here for about 2 years. Amanda's going on about 1.5 years. And in order to do that, you need certain things, certain elements that actually allow you to have that digital nomad lifestyle. And the most important thing is establishing an income source that is not tied to any location. So what are some of the ways that we can do that?
Well, one thing that people start Googling a lot is remote work or remote job opportunities. That was a good way to do it, but from what we've been hearing from the people we've been talking to in the community and also just having lots of conversations with people interested in joining our business training programs, which by the way, you can find the links to that below as well, is you're trying to find remote work and you're trying to find remote jobs, but remote in the United States right now sounds like you can work remote from your house in the United States.
And in fact, according to a recent report from the Washington Post, many jobs that are listed as remote are actually geographically restricted, with 94% of those postings requiring US residency or you to actually be physically in the US, which if you're watching this channel, chances are you want to get the hell out of the US, at least temporarily, and be able to really explore the world and maybe settle down in a different country. So obviously a job like that is not going to work for you.
Yeah, forget remote work. It ain't it. It's not the way to go. So if remote work is no longer an option, which by the way, we were just having a conversation with someone the other day who they'd work from home, but now they're making everybody go back to the office. And they're in IT.
That's happening a lot now.
That's happening a lot now. So remote work, forget it, not a thing. So then that brings us to the question, well, what does qualify as location independent income? Well, one of the first places that you can get started, note, get started, not stay here forever, and we'll talk about why, is freelancing. That's actually how I got started in 2010, long before we met. I got started as a freelance writer. I literally Googled how to make money writing, and that ended up turning into an 8-year career where I was writing content and blogs and things like that for financial companies. So whatever financial products you used, I probably wrote some marketing for the company who sold you that financial product. Now, the pro to that is that or at least there used to be a pretty low barrier of entry, and there also, at least when I started, there wasn't that much competition. Depending on what niche you're in, there probably is not a lot of competition. So for example, I was in finance. Who's gonna like sit there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna write about life insurance today? Not many people. So there's low competition in that space. Whereas if you're writing about fashion, good luck getting paid well because everybody and their mom is trying to do something like that.
And it's a much lower ticket thing as well.
And it's a much lower ticket thing. It's not that complicated. Whereas something like finance or maybe technical writing, like medical writing was a thing for a while, that could be a place to get started. Those are the pros. It's pretty easy to get started. You can make good money. The cons is AI happened, right?
Yeah, we wrote most of the outline for this video in about 5 minutes using ChatGPT. And we do that with most of our content. We take all of our video transcripts, we make those into blog posts and emails with the help of AI. So a lot of the necessity for like freelance writers and copywriters and people like that,
even video editors, things like that.
At the very high end, it still exists. Like if you're trying to help somebody with a multi-million-dollar launch, as we have clients that are copywriters at that level, and they work with really big players that have pre-existing businesses, they're established, they want somebody that's like the best of the best. Sure, they might pay 5 or 6 figures to a copywriter to be able to write all of their marketing collateral because they know it's going to make a difference. But that's only at the high end of the spectrum. If you're just looking at getting into freelancing, like freelance writing, even freelance software development and things like that, at the low end, and even in many cases now at the mid end of the market, things are being taken over little by little by AI. And I think in the next 5 to 10 years, most of those jobs are not going to be in existence anymore, or they will be in a completely different form.
So there goes freelancing. So remote work is off the table. Freelancing is being taken over by AI. What's next?
So a lot of people have asked us about passive income streams. They say, can we just build some kind of affiliate marketing business? Can we maybe invest our money in something and just make money off of that money and not have to work again? And I wish we had something that you snap your fingers and just like, no matter what, you're going to make money, and you're going to be able to just sit on your ass and watch Netflix all day, and the money will just come rolling in. But we're going to be the first to tell you that that is not true. Now, we work a lot less now with the business models that we have than each of us did 5 or 10 years ago, because we're building a business, and we have been building a business that's a lot more scalable. We're delivering services at scale. We're working with multiple people at once instead of doing one-to-one. But we're not at the point yet where we're really making passive income, and that's why we don't teach people how to make passive income. But also because passive income in the way that most people see it is really a myth. I know you've spent a lot of time in finance, so you talk a lot about this whole rule of 4 when it comes to investing. Just to really break it down to its simplest form.
Yeah, so it used to be that you could have $1 million in investments, which I already hear the people in the comments, who's going to have $1 million in investments? Some people do. You would have
That's investments that aren't your primary residence,
yes.
Which is a whole other
So
topic.
This is like index funds, stocks, mutual funds, that kind of stuff. And then the rule of 4 is that you would take 4% out every year, so you would have to live on $40,000 a year. Well, now they're saying that that number is actually up to $3 million a year. 3 million that someone would need to have in investments in order to be able to do the rule of 4 and actually live comfortably.
Right, because if you take 4% of $1 million, that's only $40K a year.
Yeah.
So maybe
you can't live
Colombia,
on that in
maybe
most
in Mexico,
US cities anymore.
You can live on $40K a year, but even then it's still tight. Like we're probably spending, to live like comfortably but nothing crazy, we're probably spending about $35,000 to $40,000 between the two of us just on our personal expenses every year. But most people also don't have $1 million of assets accumulated, and if they did, the likelihood of them already being somewhere like Mexico is probably pretty low.
The other thing is passive income in terms of affiliate marketing or digital courses and digital products. Now, we do affiliate marketing and we make a little bit of passive income, but here's what people don't realize. This is a math game. So if you're trying to sell a $100 product and you get 50% of that, do you know how many people you would need to get in front of in order to make a living income? Thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, based on conversion rates. And most people do not know that because most people are not digital marketers, which is why you need to come work with people like us who've been in digital marketing for many years and can literally run all the numbers and show you how this stuff works. Also, speaking as someone who had built passive income in her previous business selling digital courses and products, what a lot of people don't realize is, number one, I had to front load a lot of work. So I had to create all the products first, and then I had to create all the email funnels.
That's hundreds of hours of time in a lot of
I did it quickly in 3 months, but I've seen people where it takes them...
still hundreds of hours.
Yeah, I've seen people where it takes them 2 years just to build the front part of it to get it going.
And by that time, the market in a lot of cases has completely changed.
100%. And then the other thing people don't realize is that in order to get enough eyeballs on your passive income products, you have to run ads.
You have to run ads. You have to be optimizing the ads. In many cases, if you don't want to do that yourself, you're going to have to actually hire people, like people that I worked with in the agency world, in order to manage and run those ads and constantly be optimizing them, because people are trying to outcompete you, and it's a bidding war on Facebook and Google and all those other places. It's not just like a set it and forget it, and now this is just going to work for eternity. It's not that simple. There's also a lot of scams out there that promise passive income streams if you're doing some type of trading online, like crypto or stocks or options or whatever. We've heard so many of those lately where people have invested 5 figures or more to take courses in that arena, and it has not been what they expected it to be.
I got a scam in my email the other day because they're like, oh yeah, we saw your Instagram and we want you to be an influencer for us. And you started looking through all the emails and they're like, dang, this is basically just a phishing email where they're stealing your identity.
Or getting money or
getting money, but they've done it.
We didn't see it till the end, so we don't know.
But they've done it so well that someone who doesn't know would very easily fall for this, right? So that sponsorship influencer stuff that people, I did it for many years. It's legitimate, but there's so many scams in terms of that right now. I mean, like literally weekly, we get scam emails about that. Okay, so passive income really isn't that passive. We've established that.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And for the average person, it's not something where they can snap their fingers and tomorrow they've got a passive income stream. It is a real thing. But there's no such thing as like fully passive income unless you've got a significant amount of money in the bank and you're willing to basically live off the interest and hope that the market or whatever you have invested in doesn't just collapse, because even that is not completely risk-free.
Exactly. Remote work is not really a thing anymore because they're making everybody go back to the office, or they're restricted by where they are geographically, and freelancing's being taken over by AI. What's left?
So what we recommend, and what we do, we eat our own dog food in this sense, but the only way today to really build sustainable, reliable, consistent remote income that we've seen is by building a sustainable business of your own. We'll give you an example of what our business looks like. We have different business training programs where, for the most part, we'll work with 6- and 7-figure business owners. We'll work with the owners of those businesses. We'll work with their teams. And for the most part, we're not delivering any kind of service. We're really delivering training to those people to help them understand marketing and sales better, to craft their offers or refine their offers, launch new offers, reach more people, leverage things like YouTube to get into untapped markets, things like that, nurture their leads better. So we're essentially consulting in a one-to-many fashion, and we're taking the skills that we both had, freelancing and in the corporate world and all that, many, many years ago. We're taking those skills, and instead of working for a company with those skills, we're applying those skills and working with our own clients.
So the other thing that's cool about this is that it does require work up front, which is what we help a lot of our clients with, but instead of it taking you 15 years like it took each of us, we can get this rolling in a year, because we've already condensed all that information for you guys. And the way that this works, just so you guys know, because we're very transparent, you find our video on YouTube, you sign up for our free stuff. We market to you with that free stuff. You sign up for sales calls. We sell you into our programs. Very simple. It's very, very simple, very easy. We can do it from anywhere in the world. And mostly our main job, or 80% of what we do, becomes marketing and sales, which we can do from literally anywhere. And to give you guys an idea of how powerful this is, I was just having a conversation with one of our referral partners on the more businessy side of things, not so much the entrepreneur expat side. And she goes, what you guys created is brilliant because basically your business can run 24/7, whether you're there or not. You don't have to deal with a bunch of employees. You're running the numbers on everything, and you guys could literally do it from anywhere in the world. And you're spending 80% of your time on the most important thing in a business, which is marketing and sales. And I said, yeah, do you want to know how we came up with this? She goes, how? And I'm like, the first year that I was in Mexico was complete chaos. Between trying to figure out where to live, traveling through the country, trying to do the digital nomad thing where we were hopping around, and we'll get to that momentarily, flying back and forth between the United States, a death in the family, going through career changes, we were maybe working at 20% capacity. So we looked at this and we said, okay, we need a business that if we're only working at 20% capacity, and meanwhile, granted, your life is not going to be that chaotic, right? It just, for some reason, we were in a season of life where there was a lot going on all at the same time, but it was a good test because we were like, okay, so if we can only work at 20% capacity right now, how do we make it so we have a business that if we're only working at our 20%, 80% of that 20% is spent on the most important stuff.
And it all still runs.
And it all still
without
runs.
us.
Without us. And that's actually kind of how Entrepreneur Expat was born, actually. So that's the most sustainable thing you can do, because what we don't want to happen, which is what we hear from a lot of you guys, is you're getting into freelancing gigs and then you realize that that's not that great because AI is taking you out. Or you're trying to look for remote work, but all the remote jobs are requiring you to still be in the United States. Or you're listening to all these passive income things, and half of them are scams. And a lot of you have been scammed already because you've told us. Or if it's legitimate, true passive income, there's going to be a lot of front loading that's either going to take a lot of time or a lot of money, which right now y'all don't have.
Yep.
So that leaves us with online consulting business. That leaves us with selling training programs. That leaves us with using digital marketing to get attention, to get in front of people, and then working the leads on the back end, most of which is automated. And that's exactly what we teach our clients how to do in our Effortless Revenue Mastermind. And the best part is that if you're hearing this and you're like, oh my God, I'm hearing about automations and technology and digital marketing and all that stuff scares me, we have already pre-built most of the stuff for you. So you don't have to spend too much time there. And so those are for the ones who are like, I'm not good at tech. And for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not good at marketing and sales, newsflash, no one is good at marketing and sales until they learn how to do it. And we've taken our 30 plus years of experience collectively to really create a training program that'll get you results the fastest without it costing you a ton of time or money like it costs us. So that's really the way to go, because that's the only way to make money online, where you could be running around different countries. And it also puts you in a position where you're making enough money where you can qualify for digital nomad visas, residencies.
And they're getting harder and harder to qualify for. Mexico's gone up like 20% just in the last couple of years. Yeah,
we've had some of you that have families, and you've told us that the consulates are asking you for almost $10,000 a month.
Who needs $10,000 a month to live in Mexico? Like, it doesn't makes sense.
But that's what they're asking for, and the only way to get there quickly is with this particular business model. It ain't going to be from freelancing, and it ain't going to be from affiliate marketing, because the numbers don't check out.
So we have plenty more in store for you in part 2 of this video coming up very, very soon. So if you're interested in getting part 2, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss that next video. In part 2, we're going to talk about picking which country you want to go to, figuring out the visa and residency situation in that country, the actual logistics of the moving process, and everything you need to know in terms of the finances and technology and community and all the other ins and outs of actually being a digital nomad. Make sure you look out for that. And when you get on our email list by signing up for the Make Money From Anywhere guide, we're actually going to let you know as soon as that video comes out as well. So that's another great reason to sign up and keep in touch with us. Thanks so much for joining us along this entrepreneur expat journey. and we look forward to seeing you very soon in the next video.